it's Shelby again, and today we are going to be making chocolate covered Oreos. Now I know that chocolate covered strawberries are normally the more Valentine's Day gift, but right now this year, chocolate covered strawberries are harder to come by because strawberries are more expensive due to COVID. So I will be making chocolate covered Oreo treats. I'm not sponsored by Oreos, or I'm not sponsored by Wilton, which is what I'm mostly using. So let's get started.
So I started out first by adding white chocolate to a bowl, and I know it's in a bag, but it was some white chocolate that we had left over. Then I'm going to add maybe a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons of Crisco to give it that nice glossy look whenever it melts down. And as you can see right now, after it's melted, which of course it'll be pretty hot, so you want to be careful, that it's going to be really, really glossy. And I decided to do it with a fork so you can get all the chunks out of it, because you don't want any kind of chunks whenever you put your Oreos in and you start covering it up. I already started to do a few Oreos, and so what you want to do is you want to take your fork, you want to cover up the Oreo as much as you can, and you're going to take it and shake it down, and you're just easily going to place it on the wax paper or any other kind of silicone mat that you have that you want to use. So this is me finishing up the rest of them, and I have to say that I really like doing this recipe, and it's really, really easy, and it's really fun, and it's nice for kids if you have them and you want to bring them to a Valentine's party, or you can do them for any kind of holiday. I just really like doing them at Valentine's. But it is really enjoyable for the chocolate lovers, especially for people who aren't too big of fans of fruit. So it is quite an enjoyable recipe. After I finished up doing the white, I decided to go ahead and add my pink dye. And if you notice that there's not that much in there, which later on I'm going to have to add some more white chocolate, but you want to make sure it's still smooth and that there aren't any chunks and that all of it's mixed in, like all of the pink is mixed in and there aren't any white streaks. So as you can see, I'm adding more pink. And sometimes you have to be really careful, because if you start adding coloring, it can take away that shiny gloss that the Crisco had added to it, just because the coloring comes into par and it starts to thicken up a little bit as you keep mixing and mixing and mixing, and it starts oxidizing and it gets cooling down. So right here is where I started adding more white into it, and I kind of sped up the video just a little bit because it's really, really long. But yes, I started finishing up the rest of the pink, and I decided to do 18 of each color too, because I had a bunch of cookies because I got a big pack on sale, so it was really nice to have that. Now I'm adding red to the pink, and I originally wanted to do more of like a real true red instead of a pinkish red, but I decided to go ahead and save some time, and to save bowls, that I would just go ahead and add red to it. And so it really quickens up the process. The only thing is, it may make it a little harder if you do this. It may make it harder to match the color again, but I did not have a problem with matching the color, and so that was really, really good, and I was very thankful for that. But once again, you have to check for the gloss, because yet again, you're adding more coloring, so you have to be really careful. If you would like, you can use those wax melts that they have at Walmart. They have like these candy, not wax, but they have these candy melts at Walmart that you can buy, and they're in a bunch of different colors. I just really prefer using the almond bark because it's just personally a favorite that I've always used, and it's always worked well for me. And if it's not broke, then don't fix it. So this is what they look like. They're all glossy. They look very, very nice, and you want to make sure that they're hard to the touch and that they're completely dry, so when you pick them up, there's nothing that comes off. Next, I'm going to take some of that red, and I want to drizzle my white. So I take a piping bag and I put it into a cup. It's a little trick I have to make it go in smoothly. You want to cut the end off. I struggled a little bit cutting it off. And you want to just take it and just drizzle. If it's warm, you want to be careful about it being hot, because of course plastic heats up quicker and it'll be really hot in your hands. Then at Walmart, I got a 3-pack of Valentine sprinkles. So I have some hearts, and I decided to do a few of those. A few hearts on some of them. Then I also have these sugar sprinkles that I decided to do, and they have 2 different kinds of the sugar sprinkles. You have ones that are more of bead type, and I kind of struggled to open them, so I had to get help for a moment. But you have those which are kind of a bead type, which you want to be careful because those can be messy. And then you have ones that are more sugary type. And so I decided to just sprinkle those on. And I'm going to end up doing that with the rest of them, as you can see. But I decided to take white chocolate. I didn't want to add any pink or special red or anything, or white to the other one. I just wanted to do white. Yes, I just wanted to do white to all of them. And of course it was hot, so you have to be careful. But I decided to do some of them a little thicker, and then some of them a little thinner strands, like on the red and everything. But I'm going to be adding the same kind of sprinkles to both of them, just to give it that, same consistency and same usage. But I do 6 of each types of the sprinkles, because I like even numbers. As you can see, I'm counting them. But you can add any kind of sprinkles or any kind of every kind of white decoration. And here's the final touches of a few that I picked. You can see my cats in the background. But here's a few that I picked. And I really hope that you guys like this recipe and that you use it, because it is very nice for a Valentine's gift for whomever that you want to give to, and they are very delicious. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.